welcome to Figuring Out Homestead Life with Ginny and Allison. Hi,
Hi,
Ginny.
Allison. Hi. How are you?
How are you? You hear me?
Yes, I'm good.
Can you hear her barking?
Yes.
Storms. I think we're all right.
What's been going on with you?
We are preparing for Farm Trail Day. And my sister's visiting. That's who just peeked out from behind the door. So yeah. So without going too much into it, this is a sister I did not know I had until last year. So
that's awesome that you guys are connecting and hanging out.
Yes. It is a process. We're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't grow up with my sister either, so.
Yeah.
But now we're BFFs.
That's cool. So she'll be here when you get here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
So you'll get to meet her. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, she was going to leave tomorrow, but she's offered to stay and help with Farm Trail Day. She said she'll be our runner back and forth in case we need sanity.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll be here tomorrow. So the guest room is all ready for you.
Cool. Thank you.
As long as you're okay sleeping in the guest room.
Yeah, that's where I slept the last time, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Randy's texting. And yeah, good times. Sorry, had to respond. Okay. So we've been mowing and cleaning barns and wrapping soap. And I'm planning on ordering a sub tray because it's going to go through the lunch hour so that everybody is fed.
Oh, okay.
So do you have a preference on subs?
I like anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Okay. For those people in the Northeast, huge shout out to Wegmans because they make awesome subs. So
yeah. I've never had one of their subs.
I hope you enjoy it. Okay.
So
yeah,
I'm sure it'll be good.
So what have you been up to?
So I feel like a lot. I don't know why I feel like I've been so busy, but so over the weekend, Luke had an event for his, he has like a church, like a ministry at our local church that he kind of operates. So they had an event on Saturday. So I went there and visited with him and kind of scoped the scene out and did that. And we finished processing our chickens on Saturday as well. So that was like an extremely busy day. So then it was like a lot. I was like, oh gosh. So then Sunday, we just basically worked around the house. We are putting our house on the market. So we have a lot of cleaning and just like attending to things that have kind of not been attended to like get it ready for strangers to come and look at the house.
Yeah.
So we've been very busy with all of that. So yeah, I went and did some fishing yesterday. That was fun. Yeah, not too much other than that, but I just feel very busy because I've been like cleaning my little heart out here at home at every spare moment. So they're coming to take the picture on Thursday. So next Thursday.
Okay. Yeah. So not tomorrow, but next. Oh, wait, no.
Wait, today's Thursday. Yeah, not today.
Today's Thursday. No. That's how my week's been. It's like, what's today?
Yeah. Not today. They're coming next Thursday. So we do have, Luke, I have a list for Luke to accomplish over the weekend while I'm gone. And yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Scary.
I also got some fresh sourdough starter from a friend. So shout out to Becca. And it is awesome. It has been doing amazing, and I plan on making a YouTube video about it. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I think I saw. Did you bake a couple loaves the other day? I think I saw it on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice, nice. I got bread going today.
Yes, I saw your fish on Instagram. So
Yeah, my little bass. I was so excited.
cool.
I didn't
So
think we were.
did you eat it?
No, we
Okay.
were just throwing them back. We didn't really know what we were doing. This is so it was very comical when we first both showed up, and I was like, 'cause there was some other like gentleman there like trying to fish probably in like peaceful nature, and then we show up and we're just like, what are we doing? What's this do? Screaming like a bunch of idiots.
Who did you go with?
I met a girl that lives in town at that weekend that I went to.
Okay.
So yeah, so we then ran into each other again at the local pizza shop, which was so random because I've like never seen this girl ever really. And now, we kept running into each other. So we made plans to go fishing. I think we're going next week too. So
Awesome.
yeah, just to have
Awesome.
fun, So
Yeah. Yeah.
yep.
That just reminded me. So we hosted the veterans coffee with goats last week, and then it went well. We're doing it again next month.
Yep.
And then I'm also going to a book club, a veterans book club tonight.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be interesting. I don't know much about the book that she chose. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So you guys so you've not read the book. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I guess she's giving us the book tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yes.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've done a book club. The last one was kind of like not really I don't even remember what the book was, but it was not my cup of tea.
Oh, yeah. I always kind of that's intriguing. I've never done one, but it seems like it would be fun. But then I don't know if I'm not very good at finding oh, what does this really mean? What's the hidden meaning? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just I don't know.
I'm not going to read for any hidden meanings. Or meanings. I'm not going to look for hidden meanings. I'm just going to read the book for pleasure and,
Yeah.
see what we discuss when we discuss it. It's
right. Is it a fiction book, I'm assuming, or?
No. Oh my gosh.
Is that a fly?
It was a fly. Oh. Yeah, there's two little flies dancing around. That was really gross. Get off that. Ah!
That's funny.
It's I think it's an autobiography, actually.
Oh, okay.
So it's a book written by a veteran.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yes. And so I am a veteran, and I always like to preface, I'm a Coast Guard veteran. It's not like I ever saw any kind of combat or anything. But the Coast Guard has participated in every war since the quasi war with the French in, I don't know.
So were you active in any wars or no? Oh, you were.
Well, I'm considered a Gulf War veteran or Gulf era veteran. Gulf War era veteran. But I've never seen any kind of combat.
Yeah.
I have seen some pretty sad and traumatic things being in the Coast Guard, search and rescue type of things.
Yeah.
But not anything like what the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines see. And again, I'm saying that, but there are Coast Guard members who have participated in war. They've been, overseas and stuff. So, yeah. Anywho, let's talk about our topic this week.
Yes. So we're talking all about poultry butchering.
Yay!
And I'm fresh off of a lot of it. So
yeah, you are super fresh.
Yes.
Super fresh.
Yes.
So here we have processed ducks, turkeys, and chickens. speaking for myself, I prefer not doing ducks. I have a hard time with the processing of ducks, and we do butcher them. We're going to talk about this also. We do butcher them ourselves. We don't typically send them out. However, things have changed this year, so. And you have recently processed your chickens, and you've come here and processed turkeys with us.
Yes. Yep. So why don't you like the ducks? Like, what about the process of the ducks that's different that you don't like?
I think ducks are cute.
Okay.
The fly's going to go across the camera again. I think ducks are cute, and it was the first year that we were processing animals. Fowl. It was the first year we were processing fowl, and I forced myself to do it. Like Randy and I had a conversation, and I said, well, if we're going to do this, I want to know, one, that I'm capable of doing it. And the first animal I did was the duck. And I think ducks are cute. I'm not a huge consumer of duck meat. There's a lot of people who are, and we had actually raised the ducks for a friend who is a chef, who asked us to raise ducks.
Okay.
And they cooked one up for us, and I was like, it's just not. I didn't care for it.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I think they're cute, and I like their eggs.
Yeah. Okay. So the ducks you have now are for eggs, not for meat.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
We do have one pekin duck, the typical white duck, and it's a pet. It came to us from a friend's mother's who raised the duck with her chickens, and he thinks he is a chicken. So that's Mr. Waddles.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. I know him from your Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we have 7 khaki Campbells that we got this year because they were on sale at Easter. So, and I like them for their eggs. I like baking with their eggs. Although I haven't found any eggs yet. So, yeah. So we started processing birds in 2015 or 2016. It was like the second year we were on the farm, so it had to be 2015. So
yeah, so that's quite a while.
Yeah, I'm glad we do, because I do not like buying chicken at the store. Or turkey.
How many chickens do you raise for your family, like for you and Randy, a year?
About 25. Although we sell some of those. So we've done it a couple different ways. We do batches of 25 typically, and then we'll sell some. We need 1 chicken. So if we cook up 1 chicken, that's like 3 meals for just the 2 of us, maybe even more.
Yeah.
So since it is just mostly the 2 of us here now. So.
Right.
Yeah, we don't need a lot.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think next year when we're able to do more. I'm like, how many do I want? Like, I was thinking.
Yeah.
At least I want to have one a week, I think. But
yeah, can you sell them?
I believe we can. I think it's similar to you guys where like you can sell them. It has to be like, but you have to be doing like underneath a certain number a year, which is like the number is like way more than we ever would do. So
yeah. And we talked about this in a previous episode. For New York, it is 1,000 birds a year. And it's like, that's a lot of birds.
And we need to get way more proficient, I think, at process before we would ever consider. So, I mean, to family, we would like, but not for like anyone other than like immediate family. I don't, at this point, we need to get way better what we're doing. So,
yeah. So this year you raised 2 different kinds of chickens. Do you want to, we've only raised the Cornish cross. Randy and I have only raised the Cornish cross. So I'd like to know how you feel about the two different breeds that you raised.
Yeah, so there was definitely pros and cons to each. So we did half of the Cornish Cross and half of the Freedom Rangers from McMurray, because I think all the different hatcheries like call this bird something kind of similar.
Mhm.
But we got them from them. I believe they call them the Freedom Ranger, but it's the Murray McMurray version. So I liked the things I liked about them, the Freedom Rangers, where they were better at foraging. They
Okay.
just moved around more in general. They were more active. They weren't as dirty. They were pretty clean. They
Okay.
behaved more similarly that to my layers. Like they just acted more like my layers. They didn't seem to like go through as much feed. I think because they were foraging more and eating a lot of the grasses and, I'm assuming bugs and things like that as
Mhm.
well. Um, so those are the things I liked about them. The things I didn't like about them were they were more like my layers. So they had, individual personalities. They looked different. So I could have like my favorite. The
Mhm.
roosters were pretty aggressive. They were aggressive to the hens. There was like feathers everywhere all the time. Then there was, multiple roosters in the batch that we got. So they were fighting
Yeah.
with each other. Um, they would kind of try to go after me when I would go in to change out the food and water. So that, wasn't great. The
Yeah.
Cornish cross, I liked and the Freedom Rangers grow much slower. So that was
Mhm.
like the Cornish cross grew really fast. They were very dirty, made a big mess, ate tons of feed. But they were like very submissive as far as like handling them. They were all looked identical, so I didn't care who was who or whatever. So,
Mhm.
and I think it was more probably economical, because they grew so fast. But I haven't eaten any yet, so that will be like
Okay.
our real test. I want to roast one of each at the same time and kind of do like a
Yeah.
side by side comparison to see what flavor do we like better, so
Yes.
if there's a difference in taste. So
Okay. On the Freedom Rangers, so the Cornish Cross, they're dirty and they don't seem to have a lot of belly feathers, which seems to make them
right.
more
Yeah,
dirty.
that was the huge difference Luke noticed was the Cornish cross because we hand plucked.
Mhm.
So they plucked very easy, like, no problem. The Freedom Ranger was much, much harder to pluck.
Okay.
So it took him probably like twice as long to pluck one of them compared to the Cornish cross.
Okay.
So, and with hand plucking, it added, that added a lot of time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So that's something to consider is if you guys do decide to scale up, maybe getting a plucker.
yeah, we definitely,
Yeah.
it's an investment.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
if we're gonna do more than what we did, I think we need one just because for time and just it's a lot. So we did the Freedom Rangers at 10 weeks is when we processed them. They averaged 4.8 pounds. And then the Cornish cross we did at 8 weeks and they averaged 6.6 pounds. So
Yeah. That's a big difference.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, so
Yeah. And we usually process our Cornish cross at 10 to 11 weeks.
mhm,
We like to grow them out until they're bigger. And because they're outside, they, you know, they don't have the typically don't have the leg issues that if you were to raise them confined inside, they would get at 10 or 11 weeks. So,
right. Yeah, I did notice on the biggest Cornish cross, he had like
mhm.
a sore or something on his foot, it looked like,
Oh,
but that was
kind of like
the only
Bumblefoot.
almost like bumblefoot, but it was like not it was like on the hock. It wasn't like on the
Okay.
foot pad.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but yeah,
All right.
that was the biggest one, the big rooster. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
so it was interesting. We definitely learned a lot our first time stuff, So we did use a chicken tractor to house them in. That seemed to work very well. But we do need to fix some stuff on it, like with the wheels. Especially towards the end, I was like, I am sick of moving this thing because the wheels didn't work that well. So I'm like, we
Yeah.
need to improve this next year. Like, this is still, I can't deal with this again. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good learning experience. So,
Mhm.
yeah, and we raised 92 pounds of meat. So,
That's awesome.
not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. And
Yeah.
so I was feeding an organic soy free feed. So that was, that was really the only cost, but so it ended up costing us $4.51 a pound. So,
Okay. Which is cheaper in the long run.
oh
It's
yeah,
cheaper than, well, if you add in your labor and all that kind of stuff, it probably balances out to purchasing a non-GMO soy-free chicken from
yeah,
another farm. But
the
actually in
place that
your area, it's definitely cheaper.
yeah, because I pay $9.99 a pound for a whole
Yeah.
for a whole chicken at the place I usually get my meat from. So
Mhm.
that's like obviously less than half. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So you're gonna do it
So
again?
oh yeah, for sure. Yes, yes, yes. More,
Cool.
more. That's why we're moving. That's why we want to move. It's one of the reasons. So,
Yes. Yeah.
because yeah, they were in the front yard on the front lawn, which was interesting. So,
Did anybody stopping at your little stand ask what they were?
no, I was surprised they didn't.
Okay.
But during processing day, we did have some nosies kind of stopping and peering over to see what was going on. And
Yeah.
I think I like waved at someone inadvertently because it's like this lady that walks by, but then I realized I had the knife in my hand. And I'm like,
That's funny.
I
That's
was like,
funny.
oh gosh, like keep moving, lady, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. That reminds me, did your neighbors move in? The people who
No,
bought the house?
they're this who like the people that bought the house they're flipping it. So they have
Oh,
like people like gutting it and doing whatever they're doing. There's like a big dumpster in the yard over there. So
okay. All right.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So they didn't have anything to say about your chickens. So
No, they didn't.
you processed them out front too,
And we'd kind of tried to do it I mean, we don't really have a lot of options, so we
right?
tried to do it in a secluded ish area. But I mean, as far as the actual like dispatching, we made sure to do that like as out of sight as we could. But the rest
Yeah.
of it, there was nowhere to go. So, but I'm like, well, at least they just look, I mean, whatever at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
um, Luke actually, so yeah, he was cute. So the first time we did it, the tractor was like really close. I wanted it close, so I didn't have to walk far away to get the chickens. And he was like, I don't want them to see. So he covered up the whole front with the tarp.
Yeah.
So
I can understand that. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. On Friday, I went out to um, Becca, where I got the sourdough starter. She and her husband raise GMO free um, chicken. And so she gave us a tour of her place, and they raise between 600 and 700 birds a year.
Oh wow.
Um, so they have their setup for processing on a trailer, kind of like the Joel Salatin method that we saw at the Homestead Festival. They have the
Yep.
setup similar to that, and it was like, oh, that's so nice. We don't ever have any intention of processing that many birds.
Yeah.
I think even if when Randy retires, I don't see us doing anything on that kind of a scale, because that is what they're doing for income.
Right. So did
So
they have how many people are helping them on like on a butchering day? Do you know? Is it just them two or?
it's a husband and wife. They have 3 children. I don't know if the kids help. The
Okay.
kids are 10 and under.
Okay.
So
Well, they might still
I
help.
yeah, they might help. But I don't know. So,
Mhm.
but it seems like they have a very efficient process set up.
Yeah. That's what was surprising to me. That took, well, because that took a very long time just to get everything set up. You know, and then afterwards to clean everything up. And then you're
Yeah.
tired. You're like, oh, now I gotta clean all this crap.
Then you're tired and you're not having chicken for dinner that night.
No, we haven't. I don't think we've even had chicken since we did the first ones. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, isn't that funny? So,
Mhm.
yeah, when I get back, hopefully I'm gonna take 2 out and roast them. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So if you guys get to turkey processing, this year we've struggled with our turkey processing because the birds are too big for our plucker. So our turkeys are going to an Amish processor on October 3rd because we processed 7 of them so far. And Randy's like, we could spend our time doing more important things.
Mm-hmm.
And not that it's not important, but we have a lot on our plate this year. And between building maintenance and the farm trail day and getting the outdoor education space set and ready to go so I can start teaching soap making classes. It's like somebody else needs to do this. And
Right.
he feels that for the price that we'll have to pay for the birds to get processed, it's worth it. And I'm sitting here looking at it more on a business side of it saying, we're going to pay the Amish processor this much money per bird. And we don't charge a lot for our birds. We're charging $3.50 a pound, which
Yeah,
is
which is like crazy.
cheap, extremely
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a lot for me to be like, okay, we're not going to make any money on the turkeys this year.
So do
So
you not feel like would you not like, you don't feel like comfortable increasing your price because you think the customers will be upset, or?
well, we've already told people what we're charging,
Okay. Okay.
so
So
I
not
don't want to
this.
go back on my word and
Yeah.
yeah, we have most of the birds are sold, which is great.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Uh, so most of the birds are sold, which is great. We'll have ours for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and next year we will not be raising as many.
Mm-hmm.
This year we got the Tractor Supply Easter special, and we bought more than we normally would have.
How many did you have? How many did you get?
We ended up with like 25
Oh, okay.
birds.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So yeah. Yes. And we did lose a couple to illness,
Mm-hmm.
random, they weren't doing well, so we just decided it was time to call them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was watching another YouTube channel and he
Uh,
seemed to struggle greatly with his turkeys. Like, I think he lost more than half of them.
oh,
So I don't know. Yeah.
I
And it was
think
like an experienced person. It wasn't like, it was a
yeah.
big homesteading account.
I feel like, and I don't want to disparage Tractor Supply in any way, but I feel like the birds that we get from them have more issues than the birds that we got from another source.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and then we did order some heritage chickens from Runnings up in Canandaigua, which is like, it's a local like Tractor Supply but on steroids. It's a
Yeah.
bigger store, but it's not a nationwide chain.
Yeah.
So we ordered some heritage birds that we're going to keep and hopefully hatch out some eggs. Their turkeys are already starting to lay eggs.
Oh, cool.
So and our guinea hens are laying eggs.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't think
Have
they were
you
supposed to.
have you eaten any? Like, did they taste like a chicken egg?
The turkey eggs, yes, they taste like a chicken egg. I have not tried the guinea eggs.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah. And the guinea hens are hilarious. And I did not realize people eat guinea hens.
Yeah, I think I've seen that on like fancy, like I think it's like a fancy restaurant bird.
Yeah. Yes. Kind of like
So,
quail.
yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that fly. Seriously. I think it's attracted to the light by the camera.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I just wanted to say, well, because we had, like why do
Mm.
you feel like it's even important to raise for you guys to raise your own meat? Like, why do you even do it in general? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts go back to like right before we bought the farm, when we started looking for farm homestead type of property, we started watching all the documentaries on where our food comes from and what's in it and how they're raised. And we feel like if we're going to be consumers of meat, then we need to raise our own.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like it's important.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of, in a sense, being self-sufficient, self-reliant. Like if things do go really bad in this country or in the world, we are capable of taking care of ourselves, of
Yeah.
fending for ourselves without relying on um, the larger picture. We would be less of a burden to the government, basically.
Right. Right.
And some people may think that's, a little too much, and that's okay. We can all do our own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about it, and well, first I found some like kind of like stats about like pasture raised
Mhm.
chicken versus commercially like factory farmed
Yeah.
chickens. So there was different studies that I found. So it says the breast meat from chickens allowed to free roam and forage is higher in omega-3 fatty acids and monosaturated fat. The same study also showed a lower ratio of 3 to 6 of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids.
Yeah.
Also, it showed that there was significant higher levels of vitamin A. And that was all from grassrootscoop.com, if anyone wants to look
Cool.
further. And then I saw some other information that showed or kind of explained what they do to the factory processed chicken after. So well, first of all, they like dunk everything in bleach, so because
Hmm.
it's not a clean environment, so there's that. And then oftentimes they inject the breast meat with like a salt water solution with other additives in it to like plump it up to make it look
Okay.
more, I guess, appetizing or bigger or whatever. So you think,
Juicy. Yeah.
you're paying for meat, but it's like meat
Water.
injected with water. So,
Yeah.
you know, um, so I guess, my main takeaway, which I felt before I even, looked into that stuff
Hmm.
was when you raise it yourself, you know exactly what you're getting, what the bird ate, how it was treated, how it
Hmm.
lived, all those things. So I feel like it's better for the animal. It's better for the environment.
Hmm.
Just there's just a lot of different different
Yeah.
things. Just healthier for you in general. So, but I
Yeah.
think for me, because I really love animals and I feel like it's the more humane option. So, and if you're not able to do it yourself personally, like if you just don't want to or you can't, I think at least like sourcing it from like a local farmer where you can see how the animal is raised and all that, is a good thing to do. And then you're just supporting a local farm. So,
Yes. Yep. 100% agree with you.
yeah. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Another question you kind of posed, you wrote on our little thing
Okay.
was
Yeah.
about like other family members' perspectives. Do you have anything to say about that or?
Well, it's other family members or people in general, maybe people I work with or whoever. Some people do not want to know anything about the meat they're consuming. They would rather go to the grocery store and purchase it, not knowing anything about how it was raised or how it was treated or how it was handled. And it's like I said, everybody has choices to make. And I think in my mind, it's way more important for me to know where my food is coming from. And I'm not perfect. I still go to McDonald's. I still hit the drive-through when we've had a busy day. And there's still things that I eat that are crap. Literally, not literally. They're not the best ingredients, but I try to eat things that are better for me. So, and I feel like meat that we raise is better for us.
It definitely gives you a greater appreciation for the food that you have. I feel like, you know, Luke didn't really know what to expect, I don't think, like when we started the whole process of processing. And it did upset him like a bit more than I thought it would. But it definitely, you know, he's not going to stop eating meat, you know? So I think it just gave us a greater appreciation for the animal and what it's providing our family and, you know, all that. So, and I'd rather consume something, like I said, like I knew how it was treated and it was with respect and all that. So, and then I have other family members who just think we're completely crazy and they think it's, you know, ridiculous.
Yeah. Why don't you just go buy that from the grocery store? You can get it for 99 cents a pound.
Right. It's like, well, there's a reason it's 99 cents a pound.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been interesting, an interesting journey.
It is. And it's one that I plan on continuing. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah. It would be nice to be able to, instead of having to buy a Cornish cross chick, it would be nice if we could. And my understanding is the Cornish cross, you cannot breed them.
Right. Correct.
So it's like, it would be nice if it was, and I can, the Freedom Rangers are the.
I think so. Yeah. I think you can.
So that would be another plus on the Freedom Ranger side. We've never raised them. But to have a bird that you could sustain, it's sustainable. You can grow them, hatch out eggs, and then not have to buy chicks to raise your own meat.
Yeah, because there are dual purpose birds, which you're not gonna get the meat that you're gonna get on a Cornish cross, but they're dual purpose where you can have them for layers or you can have them for meat. But it's just it's not gonna be that giant Cornish cross.
Yeah.
You know, so
that and our video is about to cut out, just so you know. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
So we can keep going. So
well, I was just gonna say, what was I gonna say? Oh, well, if something does happen and, you know, something happens and you can't get chicks in the mail or whatever, you know, there are other options. It's just going to be a little different, but yeah.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you wanted to add or?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how we do next year if we're able to hatch out the turkey eggs. And yeah,